Hello and welcome to the Unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League Podcast. My name is Corey. I'm joined by my co-host, as usual, Corey.
Hello, how's it going? We are drawing closer to puck drop, and I cannot wait.
We are. It's been a busy week for me, very busy week, insanely busy week. How have you been?
I've been doing good. Work. Can't wait till it's over. But, just counting down the days.
JC's with a big announcement that would have happened an hour ago once people are hearing this. But we're recording this on Wednesday night. As you all know, we record the night before. So that's going to be tomorrow. We'll be there. We'll be live streaming it if everything goes well. I'm looking forward to seeing what the announcement is. And, always looking forward to seeing some JC's folks because, some good friends of ours at this point. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Most people from Bucktush are great. Some people from Bucktush, they're all right too.
Talking about me, aren't you? Yeah, there you go. Just call me out. There's the elephant in the room. Corey's an asshole.
Maybe. So yeah, I've had a pretty, busy week, good week, but, so we'll go off script here a little bit and talk about some stuff that we don't always talk about. But at this point, you guys have been listening to my bullshit for 2 years. So you know who I am. Today is September the 10th as we record this. And today is 24 years since my grandfather passed away.
I did see your father post that earlier.
So my grandfather was Horaire de Bichot. A lot of people knew him as Le Barbier de Saint-Louis. And, my papa was a great guy. He, very smart man. He was a Habs fan.
There you go.
I don't know. We had a very good relationship. He's the one that taught me to fish and took me out on the water. I think my first time on the water was in a boat with him. And, he had this boat, Corey, that had this tiny motor on the back. And man, like when I tell you, you weren't going fast, all right? But he'd tell stories and talk, and I always loved going on it with him. And he used to say, "On va juste le bon speed, le bon speed." Well, le bon speed would have put most people to sleep, but for my grandfather, it was perfect because I think the longer it took him to get out there and start fishing, the longer it took him to get back, and that's what he loved the most was fishing. So,
good man.
He was a great guy. We were very close, and with my work at hospice, with what I do, I've been working a lot on some grief supports. So different grief supports that are going to be coming in English and French to the Dieppe area, Moncton area to support the community some more. And, hard to not think of my grandpa a lot more this year than normal. So just wanted to mention something, a little more personal, but great guy. Definitely thinking about him a lot. He'd love what we're doing right here.
Yeah.
If he was around, he would have been watching those live streams. And he was definitely always a big hockey guy, whether it be local or NHL. So
I remember a lot of the stories. Like, I think it was on a trip to Dalhousie. I heard the story of how he passed away the day before 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the World Trade Center went down the day after he did. But you guys, wasn't it you that broke the news to your family about 9/11?
Most of my family didn't know because everybody was so kind of in shock from what happened. So, a lot of them didn't know when we got there the next day. But that was really my first big loss in my life. I would say I lost my other grandfather when I was very young. I was like two or three, so I had no idea. But this one kind of shaped me a lot. And my grandfather and I were really close, and he's definitely, I talk about my grandma and my grandpa, my grandmother on my mom's side, my grandfather on my dad's side. Those are two of the people that definitely shaped me to be who I am today. So,
if he was half the man you are, he was a fantastic guy because you're my best friend, love you to death, and your grandfather sounds like just the best.
Yeah, it's sometimes people don't like to talk about the hard subjects, but if you're grieving, if you're going through something, it's normal. If you need help, reach out for help. It doesn't make you a weaker person or anything like that. I think that's some old tomfoolery that used to get said back in the day. But 24 years later, I still miss my grandpa. I think that says a lot about who he was as a person. So, now let's get back into some BSHL. Man, there was a huge
Senior Hockey League.
Holy shit, there was a huge announcement yesterday, man.
There was.
I and I knew that it was coming, but I also, I don't know, it came very quickly after I found out. So, yeah, Brett McLean signs. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, wrong Brett. Brett Gallant. I got you there. You're like, Brett McLean.
I was confused for a second.
I don't blame you. Brett Gallant signs with the Fredericton Express. Huge signing. So anybody that doesn't know Brett Gallant, he played St. John Sea Dogs, then went on to play some AHL, went on and played some ECHL, played a lot everywhere, and he is a tough customer.
Had a handful of games with the New York Islanders, is right?
Yeah, a couple games with the New York Islanders, but the majority of his career was spent in the AHL. He won a Calder Cup, which is quite the
huge.
Yeah, you're talking one of the biggest cups in sports, so pretty impressive. Average was like 100 and some penalty minutes per season, kind of nuts. His time in St. John, he was averaging about 150, almost 200 penalty minutes, and then a season with the Summerside Western Capitals where he got 235. So for anybody that's worried about fighting in the BSHL or that it's not going to carry on, I think the signing of Brett Gallant definitely changes things a little.
I think so.
Fredericton wasn't done there, though. Nope. Fredericton was like, I see one fighter, I raise you another. And they signed Brandon Kenny. Brandon Kenny is a fan favorite, man. Hated Nelson Puck Duck. God, do they hate him in Rishabukto. My goodness.
We're both from Rishabukto, and we really don't hate him. He's actually very nice.
He's really funny. He's a really nice guy. We're the exception to the rule, but not like the Mirror Machine, not like Rishabukto, which tells me that he's a great hockey player. That's the kind of guy that I like to watch. So, Brandon Kenny signs, Brett Gallant signs. I don't know. The fight rule is what the fight rule is. I don't know the full details. Some people say it's changed. I don't know officially at this point. But having two fighters like that, you can kind of guarantee that you're going to see some scraps if you go check out a Fredericton Express game. Absolutely.
I can't wait to see them.
I know you're not big on the fights, Corey.
I'm not big on the fights if it's... Yeah, I'm not big on the fights. I don't mind a fight. I don't mind if I'm a wrestling fan. I'm an MMA fan. I'm a boxing fan. But I go to a hockey game to see good hockey, not fights. A fight here and there. You
prefer the fight when it's passionate. There's a bad hit. Somebody jumps on top of the other guy and
absolutely
they square off. They start fighting.
Absolutely,
that's the fight that you're into. Yep. The setting up at the start of the third period and dropping the gloves, that not so much for you. But it's for me. I love it. I'm just going to be honest with you. A good scrap, I am down. So I'm happy to see this signing. I think you're going to see some teams. Most teams will have somebody that's willing to go. So there's still room for that in senior hockey in New Brunswick at this point.
Yep. You got two fighters there, so maybe the rule hasn't changed. Maybe they're getting ready for that.
I mean, that's my theory with fight rules or whatever the fight rule is. Have a couple guys. Spread those fights out over the season, you're good to go. There doesn't have to be one every game for sure. But it is something that draws crowds. I know Ricky Bastrash just loves him a good fight. I love me a good fight. It's definitely something that draws crowds. But
best example for that was in Elsie with Landry and Jonathan.
Yeah, when they came in and there was just a ton of people that game.
It was a playoff game. It was a playoffs game, and we were It was a playoff game, but it was in the beginning of the season. That's what I was trying to do. Let me finish.
It was a playoff type game attendance wise.
There you go.
All right, so this week we're going to be starting our team previews, as we said we would. We're starting our team previews this week with les Corsaires de la Peninsula Acadienne. Why les Corsaires? Because they have a lot of their roster announced. Let's just be honest. There's some names here that surprised me. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I'm going to go through the entire list, and we're going to talk about how many level 1 cards they have left, how many level 2 cards they have left, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss what the signings that caught your eye were, who you're excited to see, why you're excited to see them, and we'll go through the schedule a little bit. You good with that?
Absolutely. I am good with that.
All right, so in net for the Corsaires this year, we have Antoine Landry and we have Patrick Earl back in the league. Patrick is a stellar goalie, fantastic goalie. Yep. I love Peninsula goaltending. You see good butterfly style, like they're just good fucking goalies. My favorite goalie of all time in senior hockey, it's not a big lie, it's Charles Austin. So I love going to the Peninsula. I love seeing goaltending. And man, the Peninsula has just pulled out so many great goalies over the years.
Absolutely.
So Patrick Earl back, Antoine Landry back. Love to see it. We're going to go through here on defense. We have Anthony Haché, David Marcotte, Jean-François Roussel is back, Joël Leboutillier, Marc-Antoine Robichaud, Mathieu Bernier, and Leon Denny. Up front, we've got Joël Blanchard, Frédéric Pillandry, Jacob Duguay, Jean-Samuel Lagacé, Justin Hébert, Jérémy Duguay, Luc Williams, Miguel Brideau, Nicolas Hébert, Cole McWilliams, and Sam McFarlane. What names popped out at you? Who surprised you? Why does it excite you?
Well, there's some names I maybe I just missed them, but I'm like, I didn't see, like, there are some names that aren't there that I thought they would be there. But Luke Williams.
Who's missing that you thought would be there? Patrick Jones.
Patrick Jones is one of them. There's
Lucien
another one.
Carl Saunier.
That's the one. Lucien Carl Saunier.
You know, Jan Toth for me is one that's absent right now that I kind of struggle with. Yeah, I mean,
I look at Luke Williams, and I believe there was a few games last season where their captain was Tommy Bezzo, but games that he wasn't there, Luke Williams had to see. So you got to imagine he's the new captain.
I mean, Luke's played some high caliber hockey. He's definitely a leader. I agree with you. I think he'd be a hell of a candidate for the captaincy. Who else excited you when you looked at that list?
You're very muffled there.
Oh, who else excited you when you looked at that list?
I mean, Earl. I remember him. That's a pretty big coup for them.
Agreed. Mathieu Bernier for me was a surprise. I didn't expect Mathieu Bernier to leave Bouctouche, and then when he did, I didn't expect him to end up in the Peninsula. But that was a big one. I did not expect to see Leon Denny sign in this league. Yeah. There's a league in Nova Scotia now. Leon lives in Eskasoni. If you don't know Leon Denny, man, look him up. Stellar, great skilled player. He's going to bring so much to this Corsaires team. I'm so excited to see him play. One of the first players that reached out to me when we started this podcast to get a video was Jean-François Roussel. I'll never forget that. Jean-François Roussel is actually the person who hooked us up with our first interview with Charles Austin.
Yep.
And you know, I don't forget things like that, man. Like we went to that JC's practice. Man, Alex Colette came over. We interviewed him. He went out and got us a couple of guys on the ice and brought them over for interviews. Like, the kindness from players early on, especially when nobody knew us. We had no fucking right to be getting interviews, but we did. And I'll never forget the kindness from these organizations and these players. But JF Roussel scored this beautiful goal in LC. And the taunt afterwards to the crowd was probably even better.
Wasn't it an overtime game winner?
I think it was a game winner, but I think it was in the third period.
Okay.
But it was a beautiful goal. And
I remember he Hulk Hogan the ear,
he Hulk Hogan the ear. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. To the crowd, it was so good. Just such a great taunt. Beautiful goal. It's on our Facebook page, and I think on our YouTube. You might have to go way back to pull it, but if I can find it, I'll actually repost it after this. So look for that on our page on Friday, probably. But Jean-François said I was happy to see back. Joël Blanchard coming back makes me happy. Really talented guy, but one person, and they've picked up some new guys like Sam McFarland, Cole McWilliam, guys that have played good junior A hockey. I think these are going to be promising players for the future for this team. But Luc Williams, man, such a big signing. I think the leadership that he brings with him, I thought Luc was done. I thought Luc wasn't coming back, and it made me sad. But because this guy, don't forget, led the league in scoring for multiple weeks and was on our Players of the Week many times last year. Luc is an absolute beast on the ice. He plays hard, he skates hard, and he's such a nice guy. Super nice guy. So
super cool guy.
Really happy with that. I think Jeremy Duguay is going to be a big player for them this year. I think he's starting to come into his own. But I'm really excited to see what this team looks like. You've got enough new faces that you don't know what to expect. You've got some really big signings like Leon Denny, so you're bringing in a lot of talent. And I don't know. I think the signings aren't done with Les Corsaires. There's definitely more to come. It's curious to me that they're still splitting the games between the two rinks. That was confusing sometimes. I'd be like, all right, I want to go to a Peninsula game this weekend. And then I'd forget where the hell I was going. So I'd have to pull up the schedule to see if I was in Shipping or Tracadie that week. But I'm glad that they're in both rinks in a way because I love both of those rinks.
If I'd have to pick one over the other, I think I've made more memories in Shipping than Tracadie. I don't hate the rink in Tracadie, but I think of the overtime win for Shipping or for Tracadie in Shipping, and then the overtime win for Tracadie in Shipping again.
Oh yeah. And then, but for me, I will go the opposite way. I prefer the rink in Tracadie. It reminds me of the old rink in Rishabukta where I watched my first senior hockey as a kid. It's cold. It's got benches. There's something about Tracadie that for me feels like
the maze of doors.
Oh my God, you get lost.
The first time we ever went there, I was like, "You've been here before," and he goes, "No." I'm talking about Corey. He's going through this door, going down these stairs, going through this door, going through this door, going through this door, going down another flight of stairs, and it's like, where are we going? Is this like the gates of hell that we're gonna get to? And all of a sudden, we're exactly where he said we were gonna be. Mike, do you know that? He's like, no, I just hockey intuition.
I really wanted to get to that corner where we sat. I don't know. I love the old rink in Tracadie, man. It's a beauty. I can't wait to get back there this season. So I think it is interesting to me that they're playing in both rinks. I'm happy that they are, but I think that is one thing that I don't want to say it hurt the attendance, but I don't know. It's not always easy. Not everybody can afford to travel from one town to the other. So sometimes that gets challenging. I've got to bring up their schedule here really quick. Corey, I should have loaded that before. I thought I had, and I had the league site open, but I hadn't selected the frickin' team. So opening night, Bucktush is in the Peninsula. They're in Tracadie. Opening night, I think that's going to be a big game because you've got a Bezo going back to the Peninsula. I think, Tommy's probably already got that circled on his calendar. Let's just be honest right now.
Of course.
I'm excited to get there. I think a lot of people love the Bezos in the Peninsula, and it's going to be a fun game. I don't know who's going to what game on opening weekend yet. I'm just going to be fully transparent about that. We have no idea. We're probably going to end up trying to get to both games on opening night, but I don't know who's going to be where yet. This one does pique my interest for that reason, though.
Yeah, maybe me and you in the Peninsula and the rest in Miramichi or whatever.
Something like that could very well happen. We also have the Peninsula being the first game the next night in Bell Bay for their franchise opener. I mean, that's pretty damn exciting. It's not every day that you get to go see the first game in a franchise's history. We didn't get that experience at all last year, So
yeah, we did.
Amherst, but Amherst moved from Spring Hill.
It's a brand new team. Come on.
So you're telling me
don't be hating on Amherst.
I'm not. I love Amherst. Amherst is a great town. I love Spring Hill as well. Spring Hill I loved for the pizza. Amherst I love because that freaking rink is so cool. I don't know. I feel like it's just a carry on of the old. So you think when you go to Fredericton the second week, are we looking at a new franchise or are we looking at the continuation of the Lumberjacks?
There was already a Fredericton Express, correct? Like,
yeah,
just bringing back that team and with a new team. Like, there's too much there. Like, was there a team called Ladoc back in the day?
Yes.
Okay, then my point is nullified.
Here's where I think. I feel like if you carry over players from the territory and you just move the team to a new rink, basically in a new town, I don't know that I feel that that's a brand new organization. I still feel like the lineage of the Lumberjacks exists. And I think Fredericton and Dalhousie are going to have a bit of a special rivalry this year for that very reason. Because we never, after that, then that was a great finals, man. That was damn good hockey. The Lumberjacks come out early and get a bunch of wins. They go to, and then Dalhousie takes over, manages to win the series. We never saw that rematch last year. So I do think that it's not a new team. This year we get to see a new team, and the Peninsula are the ones that open that franchise's history, I suppose, or brings back the history of the old Rock. I'm just excited about it. I can't wait to get there. 8 p.m. on Saturday, October the 11th. Just so you know, Friday, October 10th, exactly 1 month from when we record this.
Yep.
The home opener in Tracadie. I'm so excited right now. You can hear it in my voice. It's like Christmas. I do notice that they have some like huge gaps though. Like the Peninsula plays in Miramichi again. Going to be very interesting to see Billy Bezos play against his old team on the 7th of November, and then there's this gap until the 21st when they play again in the Peninsula in Ship again against Belle Bay. So some of those gaps happen. They're inevitable, but that's really the only gap for the Les Corsaires. Other than that, they play pretty much every weekend, including like between Christmas and New Year's, which historically people travel, so they tend to not book a game in that period. But this year the schedule has it. So Sunday, December 28th, Fredericton is going to be in Tracadie, 7 p.m. start time. Like, that game sounds damn nice. I'm probably going to try to get to that one. That sounds like a damn good time.
You know, you mentioned one thing about the the arenas. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to be in Ship again, they're going to be in Tracadie. I'm curious to know from players from last year's Peninsula team. Yeah, Corsaires, sorry.
Is there a fucking plane flying through your living room?
Not a plane, but a four-wheeler. They tend to love their four-wheelers in Buckdouche. I'm curious, did the players have a preferred arena? Like, is the dressing room bigger in one? Is it cleaner in the other? Like, I'm curious. Is the rink closer for some players?
So I'll tell you this, that as a podcast guy, I prefer going to Tracadie just because it's an older rink and it reminds me of the old rink, Rushbuck or whatever. I also prefer the locker room setup there. So you have to like go down a bit of a tunnel and you're kind of in the back. So when you're doing interviews, you're not like surrounded by people. I do like that. When you're in Ship again, you're kind of interviewing players like in the entrance of the rink pretty much. It's
there is no entrance. There are doors on the wall. I still go to Game 6. Game 6 in Ship again. Tracadie gets the win. And it was Billy, right? That was like right next to us. And there's a Tracadie player mouthing off with Billy. And the only thing that's going to stop these two mountain of men is me, you, and Connor Smith. and that was not going to end well for us.
None of us were getting in the middle. None of us were getting in the middle.
We were glued to that glass, I'll tell you that. But yeah, that's a bit weird. Like we went to the Shippagan Arena in July, and for wrestling for the NSP. Jesus Christ, those goddamn four-wheelers. I'm not a fan of four-wheelers.
Going just above his house, guys.
Like, just to tell you how close the dressing rooms are to the action. Out of the dressing room that Shippagan would come out of was basically the canteen for the wrestling show.
Yeah, I loved going to that show, and it definitely brought back some, like, is it hockey season yet? Almost.
It was ungodly hot, though.
Oh, man. Whew. It's freezing cold during hockey, brutally hot when you go to that wrestling show in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, though, and I don't know.
I was legit scared to go to that wrestling show in July and get sick, because every single fucking time that we go to Shippagan, I get sick.
Where do you think the Corsaires finish this year? Are they lower in the standings, in the middle of the standings, top of the standings?
I'll say they're going to finish in between middle and upper. Really? I don't think they finish first. I don't think they finish second either. I think they're middle of the pack, or like maybe 3 at the most. Like, and we should look at it in a different way, because it's not 1 to 8; it's 1 to 4 and 1 to 4.
Yep.
So where do I think they finish in their bracket? 2 or 3.
Really? I think they finish 3 or 4. I think that's a tough bracket, man. I think you've got Miramichi and you've got Dalhousie that are going to be tough to topple.
So do we just split the difference and say 3?
No. I think bottom 2, you think 2 or 3. We'll see who's right. I do think that the start of the season is going to be challenging with all these new faces.
Yeah.
I think they're going to come into their own come December, January. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games early on. There's going to be some struggle there. I hope the guys hang in there through it. Coaching staff hangs in there through it, and that the fans hang in there through it. Because I think if everybody does, come December, there's a lot of talent there, and I think they could go into the playoffs very, very strong. Where you finish in the regular season doesn't matter a ton at the end of the day. The Miramichi Northmen didn't get that bye last year. You don't want to finish top of the league, to be honest with you.
We were talking about that this week. The 2 teams that got byes got bounced in the second round. So
there's nothing wrong with working your way through and fighting.
Finishing. And there's no byes this year.
No bye this year.
There's no bye. So the way it works, it's 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, right?
In the division, yes.
Yeah.
And then lower seed so the higher seed in the second round in that division would have home ice advantage, lower seed would not. So if you finish in 4th, you're not getting home ice advantage at all in the playoffs probably. But I don't know. I do think that they're going to finish strong. They're going to finish stronger than they did last year. I see this going a lot better for the Corsaires. I think chemistry-wise last year, that was definitely, it looked like a struggle from the crowd. I think that's going to get ironed out over the course of this year. And I think there's a lot of hope for the Corsaires.
I agree.
Good Putin too. Damn good Putin.
Damn good Putin.
Peninsula. It's we never like to say that teams are gonna, how they're gonna go or be very specific, because who the fuck are we to say it? We have no idea. But I think this is going to be a very competitive team. Can't wait to get to the Peninsula. Can't wait to watch senior hockey. 1 month away. Corey, I think that's all we have for this episode.
I do believe so.
All right, thank you for being here, and
thank you for having me.
Oh, see you next time.
Take care.